In this video lecture, I will explain nesting of loop. So what is nesting of loops? When a loop is written inside the body of another loop, it is known as nesting of loops. So any type of loops can be nested inside any other type of loop. So we have seen while loop, do while loop and for loop. So for example, a loop may be nested, for loop may be nested inside another for loop, or it can be nested inside a while or do while loop. Similarly, a while and do while loops can also be nested. So today I'll explain the nesting of for loop, and this is the program to understand nesting in for loop. So here first thing is header file that we'll be writing, and then main function. And since we are going to demonstrate the nesting of for loop, and we are taking two for loops here, so there will be two loop variables. So int I, j, both the variables are of integer type, and then this is the outer for loop, and this is the inside this loop one more loop I have written, so this is inner loop. Okay, so this how many times it will be executed, this loop I is equal to 1 to 3. So 1, 2, 3, 3 times it will be executed, and this inner loop from 1 to 4, that means 4 times it will be executed. So here in for loop we have to write 3 expressions that I have already discussed in the previous video lecture. So I is equal to 1 is the initialization expression. So the value will be, this is the loop variable, we also call it loop variable. So this is initialized only once, and then this condition will be checked. So 1 is less than or equal to 3, condition is true. So then what we will do, we will enter inside the loop, and the statement which we have written inside the loop will be executed, body of the loop will be executed. So see here, this for loop, this for statement we have written, and then this is opening curly bracket and this is closing curly bracket, means this entire thing is the body of the outer for loop. So this is body of the outer for loop. Okay, and see here, after this for loop I have written one statement printf, and since we have not enclosed this in the curly bracket, so that means this is the body of inner for loop. So when we don't enclose the statement inside the curly bracket, that means only one statement will be executed. Okay, so when I is equal to 1, we will check the condition. The condition is true, we'll enter in the loop, and then I is equal to percentile d I. So value of I will be printed. So value of I will be printed means this I is equal to 1, and then slash n means the cursor will go to the next line, and then we'll come here. So now j is equal to 1. So condition is initialized, and then j is equal to percentile d slash backslash t means now horizontal space will be given, and the value of j will be printed. So j is equal to 1 will be printed, and then we'll increment the variable. So what happens for this, each iteration of this outer for loop, this inner for loop will be executed, means for each iteration, when this outer for loop iterates 3 times, and for each iteration of this outer for loop, this inner loop is executed 4 times. Okay, so j is equal to 1, condition is true, j value will be printed, that is 1, and j is equal to that value. So like this it will be printed, j is equal to 1, and then one space will be given, and then j value will be incremented, it becomes 2. The condition, the next will check the condition is true, so 2 less than or equal to 4, next 2 will be printed. So j is equal to 2, and again we'll increment the variable, this j variable, and then 3 less than or equal to 4, condition is true, so j is equal to 3 will be printed, and then again j value will be incremented. Now 4 less than or equal to 4, condition is true, so j is equal to 4 will be printed, and then when j becomes 5, the condition becomes false. We will come out of the for loop, and will come out of the for loop, then we have written backslash n, that means we'll go to the cursor will go to the next line, and then after this the control transfer to the outer for loop. So now this I value will be incremented. So see, that is the flow of the loop, right? First this initialization and then the condition checking. Condition is true, the body of the loop will be executed in this entire set of statement. The whole thing is the body of the outer for loop will be executed. After execution, we'll come and check, increment the variable. Okay, so this update expression will be executed. That means I value will be 2 now. And then the condition is checked. Condition is true means we'll enter inside the loop. So now j is equal to 2. I is equal to 2, and then we'll enter, and then we'll print the value of I. So I is equal to 2, and then again the same thing, j is equal to 1, j is equal to 2, j is equal to 3, j is equal to 4 will be printed. And after printing, next line, the cursor will go to the next line, and then that control transfer to the update expression. So I value will be incremented, it becomes 3, and if the condition is true, again we'll enter inside the loop body, and again we'll print the value of I is equal to 3, and then we'll come to this inner for loop. J will be initialized to 1, and value of j is printed 1, and then 2, and then 3, and j is equal to 4 will be printed. And after printing, cursor will go to the next line and control transfer to the outer for loop, and the I value will be incremented. So when it becomes 4, this condition becomes false, and will exit from this outer for loop and will come out of the loop. And this is the last statement which we write, return 0, and this is close of the main function. So this will be the output. This will be the output for this program. So hope you have understood the concept of nesting of loops. Thank you.